about sexual harassment. So we're going to start off with some statistics about sexual harassment.
Did you all know that on campuses across the United States that female students have reported that about 70% of them have been sexually harassed?
That's honestly not surprising to me.
Not at all.
Because no matter where you go, when you go to a public place... Excuse me?
Oh.
I'm sorry. Okay, when you go to
that's a big number.
That is a big number, but I would expect it to be larger, honestly.
Yeah.
Because as a female, as a young female, whenever you go to a public place, I know me personally, I expect somebody to say something. And especially one of them days that you know that you look cute, that you know you just a little bit extra, you know that somebody is going to have something to say. And it's most likely going to be unwarranted attention, because if I'm not giving you any signals that I'm interested in you, then you shouldn't be, hey girl, let me holler at you real quick. Can I talk to you? You know?
But that ass though, what?
Oh.
Where your man at?
Oh, I'm married. Happily, doesn't matter.
What they got to do with me?
Right? Ooh. Girl.
I can do better than your man can.
Yeah.
And you know what's crazy is that the number is probably 70% because those are reported incidents.
Right.
All the things that we just named, we probably don't flag down the police like, hey, guess what he just said. So the number, if we took those things into account, would probably be larger.
And why do you think people don't say anything, though?
I don't know. Unfortunately, we live in a society where, like you said, you expect it, and so we're used to it. I feel like as long as it's not, I don't know,
like
what's her name? Condoleezza Rice. You know, as long as it's not like that, you probably don't really say anything.
Or a lot of people feel like
a lot of people think it's harmless, right? You have to be touched or grabbed to be considered sexual harassment, but that's not true at all. You just by what someone says to you, or if it's too vulgar or something like that could be a form of sexual harassment. If you don't like what they're telling you, if you feel it's a threat to you or your body or your personal being,
space. Yeah, basically any unwarranted attention from somebody is considered sexual harassment. Especially, it doesn't have to be, but especially if you've already said something to them. Right. And there's a lot of myths about sexual harassment.
There is, and you know, the one that just like boggles my mind is that provocatively dressed women, right? They deserve to be sexual harassment, or they're asking for it.
And I think that's the most common one too, about, you know, and really it doesn't matter what you have on. You can be dressed from neck to toe, you know, everything covered up, but somebody will find something to say about you.
Something vulgar too, right?
Yeah, especially if you're a more shapely person, you know, sometimes you can't really cover up what you have. You don't really have any options. Like yesterday I had on a dress, and it came all the way to my ankles. I was walking in the gas station, and this man came to me and he was like, ooh, where did you just come? Did you come from church? And I was like, no, I just came from work. And he's like, you wore that to work? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, that's a little sexy, ain't it? I'm like, my dress comes to my ankles. I had on a shirt over it and a coat. What else do you want from me? Like, I don't feel like I'm, you know, should be turning any heads.
It's a simple outfit.
Yeah.
And you know what the crazy part is? It doesn't matter what you wear, right? You can have this on. I can walk outside in a bikini if I wanted to. We live in a free country. You should be able to wear what you please, you know, as long as it's not offensive to someone else. You should be able to dress how you want and not have to. We as women, or even men, because they're sexually harassed too, right? We should never feel like we have to be we have to rethink our wardrobe because we're concerned about the unwanted attention that we're going to receive.
That's a good point.
That's a myth.
That's a great point.
It is a myth, a big myth.
Myth. Another one, just say no. If she had just said no, then she wouldn't have been harassed.
Ooh, that's the biggest myth of them all.
What? So if I'm walking, okay, it happens all the time, gas station, you know.
Gas station.
Maybe because I'm from the hood.
It's hard.
No matter where you go, you know, I'm walking in somewhere, hey girl, and I'm like, oh, I'm fine, you know, no thank you.
Right.
No.
Clear and concise.
Clear and concise. N-O. a second something.
You cannot just
It's
take
never
that
just
no. And keep it moving.
Right, I'm fine. Oh, so you just gonna keep walking? You don't see me? You don't see me? Then I go in the gas station, get what I need. I'm dreaded coming out. As soon as I come out,
because I'm scared they're gonna be right there to harass you again.
Yeah, and people think that things like that, just words, are not that serious. But you don't know what people are capable of.
You absolutely don't.
So it's important to take extra precaution because of this myth that saying no is enough, and it's not. Maybe you should carry a pocket knife or some mace or something on your keys, something that you can have as backup for when no doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
Or if the situation unfortunately becomes violent, like it often can lead to.
They feel like, a lot of men feel like women are property. Like, they can just do whatever they want to us. So,
especially when it comes to the clothes. You know, she had that on. She wanted somebody to look. Okay, let's say I did want somebody to look. I did want you to look. Does that give you the right to chase?
No.
Does that give you the right to gawk?
No.
Does that give you the right to make me uncomfortable with your stares?
No.
Grab my arm in the club? Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yes,
That's a really good
situation.
one.
You tell somebody no, you don't want to dance with them, they still there. Throw a fit. Oh, you think you too good.
Yes, the most outrageous thing I've ever seen was somebody walking through the club. I'm walking through the club, and the guy grabs my waist and pulls me to...
they do that.
What is this? Is this real life? I'm like, if you don't get your sweaty body, sir. Is this really happening?
Or when you've made it clear, right, that you do not want to dance. This is our just say no. You make it clear that you do not want to dance, and your song comes on, right? So you head to the dance floor, and you're dancing. What do you find? The same person that you just said no to groping you. That is sexual harassment. I clearly said no. So just say no is a myth.
Yes.
Just saying.
It's a myth.
So,
another myth?
Yes.
Is ignoring. If you ignore sexual harassment,
it'll
go away.
What really goes away when you ignore it?
Nothing's gonna go away. In fact, it's only gonna make the chase even stronger if they feel like you're not paying them attention. That's all they want. They want the attention. Men or women, some people, what you call that?
Psychopaths.
Psychopaths, but they think that they want that attention from you. They want to feel like
they deserve that attention.
you're together. Yes. They want to be with you. So it's like by you ignoring them, that's
it makes it
try
feel stronger. And we've all heard men love the chase. Men love the chase. But at what point does it stop being a chase for a relationship and it starts to become
stalkerish,
harassment? Like, I've been followed to my car. I've been followed, like, almost to my house, like, where I've had to circle the block a couple times because people are following me. Like, that's not okay. Like, do you think that we're going to have a relationship now when I just had to run from you?
So it's good to don't ignore the situation.
Address
it. Like
yes.
Like you've been sexually harassed, go up to them, and maybe if you don't want to go up to the person like right off the bat, face to face, maybe you can write a letter and leave it somewhere that they can probably get to it and tell them in the letter how you feeling, what you think they're doing to you, like why do you think you feel like they're sexually harassing you or harassing you or whatever, and kind of like break it down to them like you're not comfortable with it, and then see what they say by that. Don't just simply ignore it, because if you feel uncomfortable, you don't have to sit there and deal with it.
And take it, right.
So just to reiterate, the things that you do, first, always know your rights. Know what somebody can and cannot say to you. Know what people can and cannot do to you. And that kind of comes from within, what you're comfortable with, but there's also legal rights. You have the legal right to not have somebody brush up against you, not have somebody make you touch them in a way that you don't want to touch them, or wear something you don't want to wear, or things like that. You have rights. So know your rights. Also, make sure you say a clear and precise no.
Not smiling.
Yes.
Right.
Now, we did talk about just say no, but we're not saying just say no. First, know your rights. Number 2, tell them no. I don't like when you did this. I don't like when you touched that. this makes me feel that way. Can you please not do that again? And third, document what they said, what they did, when they did, especially if this is somebody that you have to see often, like somebody you work with, a classmate, you know, even somebody at your church, you know, somebody that you're going to see over and over again, where there's the potential for this to occur, for another occurrence. Make sure you document. They did this at this time, they said this, I said that, I told them this, they agreed to not do it again, and on this day it happened again. Also, fourth, tell somebody else. You don't have to automatically report that person to a superior, but tell your friend, tell your coworker, so somebody else knows what has been going on. That'll have somebody back your story, and in the worst case scenario, that'll have somebody be a witness to what you experience, because it happens all the time where people are killed, people die, and somebody else speaks up and say, well, yeah, they did tell me. More often, people say nobody knew. Nobody knew what was going on.
You can also find an advocate, right? Someone that you love, someone you can talk to, who will help you through the situation, because when you're dealing with something like that, you obviously need the emotional support. So just you always need to remember that sexual harassment is never your fault. It is always the harasser's fault. There is nothing that you could have done differently, nothing that you could have said differently. You shouldn't feel guilty. You should not feel ashamed. It's prevalent in our society, unfortunately, and these things do happen. For more information, you could always log on to www.cbs.org. Thanks for tuning in to Pillow Talk. I'm Kiyla.
I'm Ronica.
And I'm Brittany.
All right, guys. Have a good night.
Good night.